Okay, now we're going to look at the grammar from Unit 6b, which talks about past and present habits, specifically using used to, usually, be used to, and get used to. First of all, we can always talk about past habits using the simple past tense. Okay, here are some examples. When I worked at a post office, I wore a uniform every day. Okay, wore is the past tense of wear. I often went to the cinema in the summer. Okay, we can use the adverbials every day or in the summer to indicate that these were habits. But we can also talk about past habits and states using used to plus infinitive. When we use used to plus infinitive, we indicate that this is something that we did in the past and that we no longer do. For example, let's talk about past states. I used to be afraid of clowns, but I'm not anymore. I used to have a pet guinea pig. Omar used to like reggaeton. Okay, be, have, and like. These are state verbs, and we're talking about past states that are no longer true. But we can also use used to plus infinitive to talk about past actions. We used to put peanut butter on our pancakes. Our grandfather used to take us fishing every summer. And Rachel used to get up early on weekdays. Okay, here we're talking about actions that we used to do, but we no longer do. When we want to use used to for negative statements or to ask questions, notice what happens when we use the auxiliary verb didn't or did, okay? They didn't used to like doing exercise. Used to no longer has the D, although it's pronounced the same. They didn't used to like doing exercise. Did you used to sing in a choir? Okay, notice also the use no longer has the D at the end. Did you used to sing in a choir? We can also talk about past habitual actions using would plus infinitive. Every afternoon, the kids would play kickball on the school playground. Our grandfather would take us fishing in the summer. Okay, but we cannot use would to talk about past states the way we can use used to. I used to be a fireman is okay, but I would be a fireman before I went back to university. That doesn't make sense. So we only use would to indicate past habits if we're talking about actions. Okay, let's talk for a moment about present habits and states. Okay, we can always use the present simple to talk about present habits. I wake up at 7:15 every morning. Wake up is the present simple. Jane usually meets her friends at the swimming pool after work. And I usually hate doing laundry. Okay, here we're talking about states and actions. And notice that we can use the adverbial usually to indicate that it's a habit. Let's also look now at be used to plus the verb plus ing or noun. Okay, we use be used to when we refer to something that we are or aren't familiar with or accustomed to. Here are some examples. Liam is used to getting up early. Our grandmother isn't used to her new smartphone. Okay, here we're using a noun instead of the verb plus ing. Now let's look at get used to plus the verb plus ing or noun. We use get used to plus the verb plus ing or get used to plus a noun to say that we're becoming or have become familiar with or accustomed to something. Here are some examples. I'm getting used to sleeping on the sofa. Okay, get used to is a process, right? And I'm getting used to sleeping on the sofa. Pretty soon I will be used to sleeping on the sofa. Or the negative, I'll never get used to driving on the left side of the road. Okay, that does it for this video. Remember to practice and do a lot of exercises so that you can master this.